gonna stay on too long. Gotta get off in like half an hour. What's the name? What's the main topic? Okay.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? I don't know if I had the talking going on through the video, through the intro. Doesn't matter. All I know is that there's a lot to talk about in a very short time. And, you know, I haven't done videos in a minute. So obviously for me to come out of my shell and do a video / live stream, it's got to be some big ass news. So, all right, first off, got some people up in here in the building, man. We got my main man, Predator. He couldn't wait to come on, give his 2 thoughts about the situation that's going on. What's going on with you, Pred?
What up, man? What up? I know we got a short time window here, so I'll keep the intro short and sweet and just say what's going on. Let's get this shit popping.
Yeah, no doubt about it, no doubt about it. And then also we have my main man, Livewire. What's going on with you, bro?
Not much, just chilling. Just finished a couple things I had to do for work, so I figured I'd be able to jump on.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, I don't know if something going on with the with YouTube or something. I don't know because it said the chat disconnected and then it said connected. I don't know. It was weird, but regardless of that, whatever. Let's talk about it. Okay, so first off, what's the weird thing about this whole day? It started off really early this morning. I woke up and we had to get to running around doing my thing, and then I looked and I seen on my phone that and I think it was Op that posted it, that Death Stranding is been confirmed that that it's coming to PC. And what's the crazy thing about this whole thing is that we have not only, everybody on this panel has stressed that it was, and we said that, look, this was already a thing, you know, that was already presented, and maybe something could have changed because there was definitely some feedback coming back from Sony kind of seeming like it might not go to PC. And then the PlayStation fanboys the fanatics, not the PlayStation fans, just those crazy ass fanboys and girls, they were swearing up and down, no, it's the DACA engine, DACA this, PlayStation wouldn't do this, Sony would not allow it because of the engine and all of that. Kojima belongs to Sony now. All right, so Pred, I'm gonna let you start off first, man. What was your first initial thoughts when you saw that tweet from Kojima today?
I wasn't gonna be that asshole. They'd be like, I told you so. Like, I mean, because like I've been saying it's coming to PC for a long time. I think that like everything we've seen in the past was there. Now, I know some things can change, and this is one of the reasons why I learned to shut my mouth up and not
in this video,
say anything
I'll show
until
you how to set up and manage
it's actually released or a game's released or until we hear something official with somebody. And like we talked about this, like maybe in 2015, they had that little leak out where they said it was coming to PC. They had another article out where it said it's coming to PC. We've heard, like, I think Kojima said it was coming to PC, and everybody kind of dismissed that, like, oh, well, Sony owns them, like that could never change, like for whatever reason. And, even though we had the writing was on the wall, I think most of us kind of sensed that, there was a huge possibility, even with the little, like, they try to save some face and say, oh, it's not coming to PC, da da da. I think we saw that bullshit out a while back, and boom, here it is on PC. They even put on there like only on PlayStation on all their ads and stuff like that. So I was like, at the beginning, I was like, it's coming to PC, and then like some of the shit they released kind of had me on the fence. But at the end of the day, I was like, I'll still pick it up on PC because I still think it's coming on PC. And boom, there it is. It's coming on PC. So all those motherfuckers that were talking shit about, when Microsoft did this, it's coming up. How's it feel? And like, boom, there it is. You were talking shit about Remedy's game coming out, not Control, but what's it called? Quantum Break. When Microsoft did that shit back in the day, and y'all all tweeting out on fucking social media about, yeah, that's what y'all get, Xbox guys. I know y'all wanted to play this game. You have to get you that. Like, it's exclusive, blah, blah, blah. Like, and as you see with the history of Sony, they follow the same suit that Microsoft does. And we knew this was coming. And there are going to be more games coming out in the future. I wouldn't even be surprised if this game came out on Xbox at one point in time, since it's second party. Sony, what they like to do is try to make you think it's never coming to another console, because a lot of fanboys love those exclusives. But when they do release a game and they do say it's coming on PC, it's usually like at the last minute or like a year or two later. Like they keep that shit close hold. It wasn't like with the Tomb Raider, situation where everybody found out, right before the game got released, like this game did, like this game's doing right now. Most of the time, Sony keeps that shit quiet and they don't say shit to anybody, and they get away with it because no one listens to what's been being written, in articles or stuff like that. They just see and believe what they want to believe instead of, just believing what's actually out there in black and white.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Live, what is your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I agree with Pred. I think one of the main reasons why it's this. Well, one, this rumor's been going around for a bit, but the thing is, they don't badger Sony like they do Microsoft. Once a rumor comes up, they make like 100 videos on it. They harassing Phil, harassing Aaron Greenberg, whomever, right? They don't do none of that stuff for PlayStation execs. Like, they'll say something, they'll be like, maybe, but I'm not sure if that's what they really mean, though. And then PlayStation will put up a text and be like, oh, Death Stranding's coming out on PlayStation. See, they didn't mention the PC, so it's not coming to PC, motherfuckers, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, this shit happens. I'd be like, well, I'm just saying, it's good for Sony because it can be there for, everybody now. I'm like, y'all wasn't talking like this like a couple months ago. What are you talking about?
No, they weren't. And this is the thing that bothers me too. It's just that part right there. That they are so hell bent to want to dictate how Xbox is supposed to run and how the staff is supposed to bring these type of games. And now that their narratives has just kind of closed in on them and choking them out, I can't be more than happy to come out and gloat a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to be an asshole and say that like they come back at us when we say these things, because we've been saying this. I've been saying this type of thing going way back to the multiplayer. And I remember that all them dudes would come after me. They would dog me out. They would say I was stupid. I was retarded. I had no sense. Fail, L mega, all that crazy shit. And all now I'm seeing is so much damage control of this backpedal of, well, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. I still got faith in Sony. And when they get into when you get into those discussions with those guys, and the next thing that they do is try to change the goalpost by talking about sales numbers, you've already won. You've already won.
It's true. They be like, how's it gonna sell though? See, it's gonna sell more than Outer World. I'll bet you that. Like,
yeah. Like, what Outer World's got to do with Death Stranding? Like, I mean, the sad thing about it is I have been on Twitter talking more about Death Stranding than most of these fanboys that swear to the PlayStation exclusive. I haven't seen. Only thing I've been seeing is, if anything is going about, is that Death Stranding is going to be Game of the Year and is going to outsell any Xbox exclusive. Anything else, yeah. I don't hear them talking about the things that they are excited about within the game. Only thing they talk about is 3 things: graphics, money, and shit on Xbox. That's it.
Ain't nothing to be excited for. Did you see that? That thing they showed with the damn otter, and he's out there washing himself in the water. I said, bro.
Oh yeah, that was a Conan O'Brien thing. I don't know if that was a little spoof, because I hope that's not like an added. It was an otter.
Mega.
Come on, man, don't do that.
In this game, that's just real.
Come on, Pred. Come on, help me out. That can't be real.
I think the leak that I sent to you guys before had that same part in there.
Oh shit, you did. Oh no. See, I was talking. Listen,
Yeah,
like
you
what,
know
2
that's
months
real.
ago?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
That
yeah.
shit is madness. You know it's real.
And so the
Oh,
energy level with these fanboys and girls out here now is at an all-time low, because if you really want to be honest about this, they have had a really bad year. They have
been rough.
they have had the biggest, if you just really think about it as a whole, they have had a very bad year because they have been on the highest levels for the last 3.5 years. Now it seems like with all this turnaround, okay, Andrew House leaves, no big deal. Yoshida leaves, not the Yoshida that everybody has seen, the other Yoshida. That's no big deal. Then we got Adam Boyes, he leaves, no big deal. We got people that's leaving to go to different devs, to go to different studios from the big ones, from Naughty Dog and from Santa Monica and from other places. No big deal. Then you got Sean Layton that leaves. No big deal. Then all of a sudden here, just the other day, we have what is it? Naughty Dog's I forget what his position
lead
was.
animator.
Yeah, lead animator. Animator, not some person that's working in the animating department, but the lead animator leaves, and he gives kind of like a kind of soft tone. Hey man, wish the best for you. I'm out. Why would you leave if, you know what I'm saying? Because the game could be already done. I mean, I'm not going to dispute that. That game could be done, and then, like we talked about on GRG, it's a strategy to move that game into spring of 2020 for other purposes. But if these fanboys that claim that Santa Monica and Naughty Dog are the best studios in the world, why would they leave them? Why would they leave them? If they're the best studios in the world, why would they leave them? But again, no big deal. Everything is all right. Now we're seeing the shit that's going on with what we're seeing with games starting to go over to PC. There's a PC love narrative. Where is this energy that they went after Xbox? Come on, help me out, guys. Give me some kind of explanation of why these guys are kind of being so quiet.
Called denial, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying Sony's like the games are gonna suck, because I mean, like, we've had people leave from Microsoft Studios too. But like even when like I think when say God of War, Uncharted, like they lost one of their people right at the end, right before the game was released, and that game came out fine. They lose like delays and stuff like that. That shit happens in the industry. People come and go. Like Don says, it's a Wednesday, right? So it happens. So like I don't hold a lot of like. Most of the time, that game it's already got a roadmap of how they're going to develop it. If the script's been written already and someone leaves, no big fucking deal. But you can't sit here and act like multiple people leaving in a short time frame, because all this shit has happened like in the last 18 months, maybe 12 months.
Yeah.
And then even this last year, their games have been the same shit they give us for the Metacritic scores for our Xbox games. They're getting for their PlayStation games too.
That's
right. Think about it. They're getting 70s and shit across the board too. So like that part of it, and I get it. We're going to another generation. The only thing that they can harp on right now, they're still selling consoles like crazy. But even those are declining. They're winning NPDs, but Nintendo's really kicking everybody's ass right now. But they're still selling consoles still. But like at some point, they have to notice the fire in the room, right? So and they refuse to do that. They just sit back and they're like, "Oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine." I'm like, "Okay, everything doesn't look like it's fine." And you got all these big people leaving, at the same fucking time. It's just, I don't want to say it's like something like where it's like just this moment thing, but it's happening so fast now. And I don't know if people are jumping ship because they don't want to be a part of this next generation. Maybe they've made enough money. Maybe they see the writing on the wall. We'll never know the answer to that question.
Right.
But I think when Layden left and the way he left, kind of that should have put for Sony fans specifically, that should have made them raise an eyebrow. Like even if nothing else bothered them, that should have made them raise an eyebrow. Maybe this situation with Death Stranding too. But like at some point, like I said, they got to notice the fire in the room. They choose to not do that because they're just clouded. I hate to use a crap reference here, but crap is he's he's been such a believer and a hardcore person of the Xbox side, and at some point he got fed up and he's like, "Fuck this shit," like
Yeah.
Sony
No,
got-
that's
like they can never do wrong on the Sony side. Nothing happened. Like they're like even now, like I'm looking on Twitter, like I don't see maybe from one guy that Omega or whatever guy, but he's the only person I see out there actively like bashing out against this, like giving them shit for it. Like I don't see anybody else on the PlayStation side coming at at PlayStation or Sony for letting this game be on PC. Like I don't see.
No, you don't. And I see my boy Lemetius is in the building. Let me do a big shout out to Restored Hades. I definitely got to bring back the send that shit to Hades. I got to do that. But anyway, he gave a shout out and he says classic short-term gains, long-term losses. Could be. I look, Sony has definitely benefit off of a lot of misleading terms. And because they have been the darling of the media, they have been kind of like that new success. Even though Sony has been successful, the PlayStation 3 wasn't a dud at all. It didn't have the upstanding of what it did to its predecessor, which was the PlayStation 2. But again, the PlayStation 3 wasn't revered like the 2 and the 4 and the 1. So it's like their messaging, maybe we didn't pay attention to it back then during the PlayStation 1 and the PS2 in the PS2 era, but I've been paying attention to it this gen, and everybody has just kind of let it slide. And I'm wondering if now is the media or just like the fans and the gaming fans in general is kind of tired of the obnoxious fanboy that just keeps drilling the same stupid ass narrative. And you're like, look, you keep telling everybody else what they need to do, but you need to go talk to the people out there and start singing your dislikes about what's going on that side. Lemon, what do you think?
They'll never admit it. They won't never say nothing against the mighty PlayStation brand. No matter what they say, people will spin their negativity into the good word, and we all supposed to put our offerings into the basket. It'll never happen. It'll never happen.
But that's the
too.
thing.
They'll say something today, but Death Stranding drops in a week. Oh, but Death Stranding. Oh my God. So it doesn't even matter. I just like to see the backtracking. I love it.
I love every last bit of it. I love everything.
All the people that want to, look at this and look at that and Xbox this and Xbox that. Yeah, I ain't really with all that stuff, but where you at? Where's that same energy when your company let you down?
I feel for the people that jump ship and were like, oh, well, I got to go to PlayStation because they're going to be traditional. And then they start be like, we're going to do PlayStation now. We're putting God of War on there. No, it's okay. It's okay. No, it's okay. Then they're not going to do a day and date. And then all of a sudden, Death Stranding. Oh, it's never coming to PC. It's not coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, see, this is the thing that trips me out, right? This is when I knew that it was getting bad for them, is when EA Access. And even though EA Access is not as out there as like other streaming services like the with Game Pass and with PlayStation Now, but when Sony did the backtrack of EA Access, I was expecting to see PlayStation fans go crazy. They did not, because they did that. They came out and they were so adamant about how Sony said themselves that it was no value. Just like with backwards compatibility. Nobody who plays old games. This is coming from the Sony corporation themselves, and it's making these big time PlayStation YouTubers that's been touting these stuff look like liars. Because
but they are.
And to me, it's just like, okay, well, when you know what I'm saying, everybody on this panel is being highly critical, especially probably Pred is probably being the most critical of Xbox out of all of us. But every last one of us has been critical. And the thing of it is that it seems like it's never good enough for that Sony fanboy. You can say whatever, you can say the absolute truth, but until you say, I can't stand Xbox and I don't want to play it anymore, they think that you're still bullshit. And that's crazy to me. While it's so apparent that Sony is making a huge shift for a reason, and that's why these people are leaving.
There is a reason. There's a reason they're making a shift. They see 100 million consoles versus 40 or 50 or whatever some Microsoft got, and then they see money generated in revenue, and their money don't add up to console sales. So now they start saying, maybe we should put our stuff on PC. Maybe we should be more friendly. Maybe we should, because they starting to see developers. First of all, it starts with the developer, right?
Mm-hmm.
They make a statement. Sony like, we ain't doing that. You ain't doing that on our console. But these developers and these companies pay they licensing fees to drop their game on Sony's platform. There's guidelines they have to follow, but you can't tell no company what to do with their content.
Right.
That was the whole cross-platform play. They was like, well, how are we gonna make some money? No, that's not your game. Yeah. You did not pay anybody to put that game on the market. So if they turn it on a switch on their server, you can't say nothing. Right. I'm still up for Epic didn't make no goddamn mistake. You don't make a mistake like that. You just don't. Like, oh my God, turn it on by accident. It turned on by accident. Who turned it on? In Fortnite. That ain't no damn accident. They showing you.
Oh, you go. Yeah, no, that was not no accident. And nobody got penalized for it. Matter of fact,
for 8 hours.
Yeah, and nobody's getting. and check it out. Like, look at what we were doing. We were playing with Sony players on COD this weekend. So it's like
right now.
Yeah, I'm about to jump on after I get on with this. So it's like, and then check it out. I think it will be the return of the dev and the gamer tonight, late night. Yes, it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. Glad to have that.
It's just it's every time that they backtrack on what they say. Oh, nobody's playing you games, but we're gonna remaster this game and sell it to you for $40. That's an old game.
Yeah,
that's an old game. That's stupid.
That's crazy, Pred. I'm gonna ask you, like, because I know I forgot, because there's been so many things that PlayStation fanboys have backtracked on. Can you think of any others other than the ones that we've talked about?
Let's see. We talked about
back and pat,
crossplay, games as a service.
Yeah, I didn't really bring up the games as a service.
I mean, they ain't really did it that much, but I mean, I'm sure that's coming. No, I don't think so. The PlayStation Now stuff is basically mimicking. Like,
there's one thing y'all probably
controllers. About. What's up?
That PSN was inferior. They had to jump on Azure service.
No, well, that's kind of basically. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's how the reason why they kind of now really posting, like going crazy and doing the advertising for PS Now, like they're doing, because they are working on service. But there's one more that we've been missing. I mean, there's more than that, I'm sure, if we keep thinking about it. But we're on limited time. But and that is something that just dropped a few hours ago, gentlemen, and that was about the power narrative. That seems to be backtracked by Sony themselves. It's I'll probably put that
for that faster narrative.
Yeah, it's something that I posted in the GRG thing and next podcast DMs. It's from what is it? techradar.com. I'll put the link in the description after I get done when we get done the show.
Favorite sites.
Okay.
It said that, and this wasn't some columnist, some journalist that just was going off of a whim trying to. They got this from Sony themselves, where they basically said that the whole power, they got to backtrack on the power aspect of it because of competition. We will have a powerful console, but we just might not have the most powerful. So that should tell you something in a nutshell. Like, shit's getting real. Xbox is I've said this. I said this years ago. I think everybody said this. I think my boy Pred, though, he listened to so much of that rhetoric that he almost got consumed by it. But I said this. This shit, Xbox is not going to allow themselves to be put in a position like they have been this generation. I don't think we'll ever see this again. I don't care if they win the generation. Like, first off, because they personally don't really care about the whole console sales thing. They care about the software. They listened to all the people that did all the bitching and complaining and crying at the beginning of this gen, and they still turn their back on them. So Xbox is like, we're still going to do what we want to do because PlayStation jumped on board and doing what we're doing, and everybody loves it. So we're still going to keep the narrative we're going to keep the narrative faced on our end and keep doing and keep pushing. I don't ever see Microsoft falling off Xbox falling off like it did this generation with exclusive and things like that. So obviously, PlayStation must have got a hold of something to realize what this Xbox Scarlet is going to be, and be like, shit, we ain't doing it. we can't do it, Jack. I think everybody's going to be happy with because the PlayStation 5 will definitely be more powerful than the X, but I just think that maybe this whole SKU thing that they've been talking about with the Xbox and with the PlayStation might be a thing of reality. What do you think, Fred?
What was the question?
Like, do you think that because now since Sony's they backpedaling on the whole powerful narrative thing, could it be to where like maybe Xbox, from the rumors which we've heard, that they might have two different SKUs, like maybe a cheaper one and then this more crazy powerful one, and then that PlayStation might do the same? But do you think that's a possibility now since like after this article that just dropped?
I wouldn't discredit that. I could see. I always said this before in the past. Like, if you look at the way that they have launched their things recently, like the Surface, like they launched multiple versions of it. So I don't doubt that Microsoft would do the same thing. Even with the X, they came out with the Scorpio version, and it's the base model version. So like if I think they're gonna do something similar to that. Like, if you want this higher beefier size, Xbox, you can get it maybe in August or like early October or some shit like that. And then, if you want to get the base model version, you can get. I could see them doing that, like going forward. And maybe Sony was like, our base model might be more powerful than their base model, but they got that, that beast over there, and they got wind of it. So, for them to backtrack like this and say what they said, like this far out, yeah. That kind of sounds like something's up over there.
Yeah, something is definitely up. Like I said, the craziest thing to me today that I've read out of all this backtracking is this narrative that, I'll cancel my pre-order. I'm not gonna tolerate my games, my exclusives to be a multi-plat. So what does that tell you? You don't give a shit about the game. You only care about of just the fanfare. You only care about just the fact that it's a popular game on a popular system, and you just want to be a part of that so you can brag about it. You cannot be a gamer and say in one breath, we'll brag about the game, talk about game of the year, and then in the next breath, because they do something different, I cancel my pre-order. I'm done.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Who does some shit like that? I know. I already know. You know what I'm saying? I already know a couple of people that there was one way back a couple of years ago that just baffled me for doing that. But it's coming from PlayStation, so-called diehard PlayStation fans. I implore you, PlayStation fans, stop listening to these motherfuckers. Please. Because they have been just telling you just dumb shit and just making you look foolish by you coming out and trying to argue points that's now been irrelevant by the company. There's only two things that's the truth here. Sony don't care about the minority fanboy, and two, they care about that money. They care about that money. That's it. That's it.
They don't take one for the team. That's take one for the team.
Yeah, that's it.
They pretend they take one for the team, but they don't.
Yeah.
That's why their TVs are still number 6 in the world, because they refuse to drop the price on a TV, and they know Samsung's whooping that ass.
Well, shit, at this point, Microsoft makes better hardware all around than Sony does, and that's just sad because they started doing hardware well after Sony did. Like their computers are better, their phone is going to be better. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing Sony hardware wise that they make better. Their console's been better. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I'm
It's-
gonna check y'all
things that
because
need to be
I gotta
done.
go pick up my daughter.
Okay, yeah, no, we're going to get ready to wrap it up. So go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you at Livewire.
Bro, check me out on my channel, Livewire Gaming. I'll post up some videos hopefully this week. I have it on my computer. I just ain't posted up yet.
Yeah.
Check it out. All right, peace.
Right, cool, peace. All right, and Pred, you got any last words you want to say before we'll start to get out of here or whatever?
Wasn't there a rumor out recently about Sony selling off their PlayStation View?
Oh, you know what? That was a topic that I wanted to talk about on GRG, but we was pressed for time. Great point.
I didn't look at it. I didn't dig deep into it. I just remember seeing it.
I was basically what was going on with the PlayStation View was they have been hemorrhaging money. And I talked to a person that because there was a person at my job that loves PlayStation View. He touted it a lot, and I'm like, well, I got cable, so I mean, I don't need PlayStation View, but it's a good substitute. And they said that the service was actually really stable. It was fantastic. A lot of people that they talked about it when I posted that story on Twitter, they swore by it. They said that the problem is that there was a financial issue. And Comcast pulled out first, or some one of the big companies, and so they start pulling out their channels, and then Disney did it was either Disney or it was Comcast that did it first. Then everybody else started following suit, and so those and so people was like, well, why they just won't shut down the View? Well, they still have contracts and obligations with other companies that shows those shows on there. So they got to keep going. But now Sony is hemorrhaging so much money that they're like, man, we just sell this shit off. We don't even want it anymore. So that's what the story was about.
Okay, I'm looking at the article now. It was on The Verge that it came out on. They're like saying that, one of the things against the View is like they don't have their own like shows and stuff like that.
Right.
So, a lot of people are going over like Disney Plus and Hulu and
like my old lady, she can't wait. She's excited about Disney Plus.
Like, I mean, it's a good time for them to pull out. They don't have like, and this is the thing about these streaming services and like how I like the way Microsoft is doing it. They're pulling in other games from other places. It isn't just Xbox games. It's like Capcom and whatever the fuck they can find. To add to their service. Where it's like like EA is just EA games, like PlayStation View is just whatever they can get at this point. And that's probably why they're getting out of it. They're not making their own TV shows like Apple's doing, like Hulu's doing, like Netflix is doing. I mean, even though Sony is a media company too, like they make movies as well. I don't think you're going to go out and start, making TV shows specifically for PlayStation View to try and bring in.
They did make one.
What did they make?
Oh, Powers or something like that?
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah. Remember at the beginning,
pretty good, and then it got retarded at the end. But
they
it was like The Boys. All The Boys is like that.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Can they sustain that though? Like you see, like these other companies, they're making like 6, 7, 8. Like Netflix makes dozens. Like Sony can't do that. I mean, I'm not saying they can't, but like they just haven't. Like that's like a lot of money for them to spend production wise to do. Let's say they did like a Witcher. And like like they probably have to do like at least 10 shows or whatever to get people to kind of come over that platform just to watch movies. I mean, like I don't know. I don't see why they would keep that. So I think it's a good move for them to get rid of that.
But yeah, I agree with that. And see, and that's another thing too. Again, as well as PlayStation has done, I mean, everything else on PlayStation on Sony side has done mediocre to not very well. So again, I mean, if they're trying to like look, the whole rumor about Apple or Amazon or somebody else is trying to buy Sony Pictures, that's telling in itself. Then you got this with PlayStation View. I mean, we might just see Sony just come out to be just maybe just TVs and video games. which ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, they'll have plenty of money to put into those resources, but I mean, but that's
Sony's been bleeding money from all angles. Computer division they sold, bleeding money. Cell phone, they trying to get back into it, they're bleeding money. The View is bleeding money. The only profitable department they got is the PlayStation. And as a company, they drain the money as a company. It's not like, oh, Sony is they get to keep the PlayStation money separate. No, it's one combined unity, and they're carrying the load.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think PlayStation fans know that as well. So
no, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't for them finally giving the PlayStation to a Western engineer, they would have went through what the PlayStation 3 went through, because they did that all for that cell processor, which they thought they could compete with Intel on an Intel level. See how that worked? You see what I'm saying? Like, leave. Know your weight class. That's why they got different weight classes. You know what I'm saying? Do what you knew. You know, Microsoft had to revamp as a company, and now look at them. And I'm not just talking about Xbox. We talking about as a company. Samsung came along. They was a garbage company. They revamped their structure, and look at them today. You know what I'm saying? Sony needs a revamp. Stop trying to make computers. Lower your price of your TVs. They had the #1 selling receivers in the world at one time. You won't even buy a Sony receiver no more. Their name is not the Bentley they used to be, but they think they are.
Yeah, no, and
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying? I used to buy everything.
RCA and Hitachi used to be the names of names out here. Yeah, and now like RCA, I think is doing fantastic in Japan. As a matter of fact, I think that RCA was like #1 over Sony at one particular time when they had that financial crunch at the beginning of the generation. But now, who let somebody brag and say, "Man, I bought this new RCA, flat."
In the last 10 years.
Yeah, what I'm saying. Oh man, I bought this Hitachi, bro. No, ain't nobody gonna feel you on that. So
I'm gonna say I had a Sony Vaio, man. I love that laptop, dude. And it was a beast back then. Mm-hmm. And like the last Sony product I bought I bought a phone from them. Just because I didn't want to spend another $800 on a Samsung or an iPhone or something like that. So I got I forgot what their phone line is called now. But I bought a phone. It was a good phone, but it wasn't anything near like the shit you get nowadays. And like that was the one that I got was like their flagship, at the time. I'm like, well, this isn't anything that, and who said that before? That was like, their Microsoft's hardware is better, overall. I think Lemon said that. Yeah, like their hardware is better than Sony's at this point. And it's like Microsoft doesn't mind spending the money to make the shit right. Sony has just been basically just like we're gonna keep selling the same shit, put a new sticker on it, new skin. It's the same. It just has a different outside, and they've been cool with that for the last couple of years. So they're trying to cut costs.
Yeah, no, and that's right. Bladed Fury. No. I was just saying. Some people was asking what games that was playing. I think this is something Fury. I forgot the actual name of it. It's in my PC. And it's something Fury. It's a real fun game. And then somebody was asking me the game before that, and that was Shaolin versus Wu-Tang. And so and then they got a new game that's come out. I'm finna go play. I bought it, but I haven't got a chance to play it. It's the sequel to Shaolin versus Wu-Tang, and that's called Fighter's Legacy. And I'm like, oh man. So yeah, you'll definitely see some gameplay of that. But man, listen, there's no doom and gloom here. Sony's not going to fall off and die, and PlayStation's not going anywhere. You're not going to get that here. It's just the fact that these narratives they're fading. And I hope that the gamers pay attention to that because, listen, if you're a console gamer, then you're a console gamer. Pred got a PC. I got a PC. Lemon got a PC. Live, who was just on here, he got a PC. We play on our PCs, but I primarily play on my consoles. And the stuff that J-Tech said was absolutely asinine because he said he would cancel his pre-order because of the game going to PC. But then in the next post, he said, I'm going to just buy a PC for $400. I'm going to just buy or build a PC for $475 and just become strictly PC. So again, you canceled your pre-order for a PlayStation game, and then you're saying you're gonna, I guess, assume buy the game on PC with a $474 PC that you're gonna build. Good luck with that.
No, which is
dog
shit.
And you're still, well, true, and you're still. That's only 720p gaming, Jack. You're not even a real gamer with the 1080p.
720p 30.
Yeah, 720 30. And the fact that you still think that Sony is not going to recoup that money, it's just like us Xbox guys has been saying. Microsoft thanks you. You can go ahead and buy you can buy the game off a PC. Xbox is, because look, the difference between if you can sign up for Game Pass now for PC, but beforehand, there was a lot of people that had to buy that game for the Gears and for the other games out there, for Killer Instinct, they had to pay full price for that. When those games came on Game Pass for people that were new adopters of the Xbox, they got that shit for cheap. So, I mean, it's like, and then again, this whole narrative of people with Xboxes losing money because of getting the game for Game Pass for $1 is absolutely stupid, because I guarantee you, Sony is going to start implementing some way to do that as well. All these companies wouldn't be trying to invest to get people to do these streaming services if it wasn't profitable. Think about it. The Boys you would think, well, we don't see The Boys on video or on DVD or Ultra Blu-ray, so they got to be losing money, right?
No.
I mean, I'm saying they're not. There's a sequel already in the works.
Hey, Meg, I got a question.
Go ahead, man.
They keep talking about this dollar stuff. It's only $1 for 2 months. I mean, $1 per month for 2 months. After that, it goes to regular price. Can y'all shut the hell up about the dollar? That's to get you on board. Once you get on board, Game Passes did nothing but steamroll. So ain't nobody unsubscribed. So y'all need to stop with the dollar. Oh, it's $1. No, it's not $1, dumbasses. It is $1 per month for 2 months, which is basically $2 trial.
They gave you that first snort of that Coke, man.
Right.
You come back for the second line.
Right.
Exactly.
So please stop talking ignorance, man. Lord have mercy, as people are ignorant out here.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Ice Queen Gaming. Appreciate you coming by. I see you over there on the next podcast. I appreciate you coming through. Of course, our boy Megatron. Chris Hart trying to save the day. He's trying to hold on, bruh. You trying to hold on, but it's not looking good for y'all, man. This is, like I said at the beginning of the show, if you really look at, take off the blue lenses and look at what PlayStation has done overall this year, it's not been a good look. Not been a good look at all. Y'all are still feasting off of a game that is now 8-9 months away. You're living off of a game that has been 3 games that's been a year and a half past, with Spider-Man and God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. You got, what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about Days Gone. Nobody's talking about Concrete Genie. Nobody's talking about, hell, they're not even talking about Death Stranding unless this situation is going on from what we're talking about now. I mean, I know Kojima got so many fans out there, but I think that Sony was smart to do this because like I said this, and this wasn't a knock on the game, because the game could be a game of the year. But what I said is that I don't think that game is going to gravitate to the casual gamer. I just don't see it. They'll buy it. There'll be some that'll buy it because it looks pretty. But then once they start getting into that story and that shit don't go like they want it to, man, they gonna trade that shit for something else. A lot of people gonna red box. So what you do, this is a perfect game for a Game Pass or a PlayStation Now subscription, and also for the PC fan, because there are a lot of PC fans that likes that crazy over-the-top style of game. And so this is smart for Sony to do this. Embrace the future. Gamers, embrace it. It's all right. You'll still have PlayStation 5 to play your games on. It's going to look fantastic. There is no reason to panic. The games are just going to be on PC. So what? Someone might go to Xbox. So what? Someone might go to Nintendo. Don't trip. I could see Nat going to Nintendo. I could see it. Anyway, I could see it. All right, yeah, and then of course, you know, I don't care about Metacritic scores and all that bullshit, but their scores has not been high. It's not been a good look for the Sony fanboy this year, or for Sony, and then all the stuff that they haven't been able to do, like being at shows and these attractions and show new stuff. Stuff is not looking too good, but it's gonna be all right. No doom and gloom. All right, everybody. Hopefully me and Don will do Devin the Gamer later on tonight. I'm finna get off here, finna let this dog run around in his backyard, and then I'm finna play me some COD, and I might stream that on Mixer, so, you know. So anybody want to come check me out on Mixer, go ahead and do that. Lemon, where can they find you at, bro, while we getting out of here?
108 Dragons TV on everything, baby. Thank you for everybody stopping by for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just especially a random video. I guess this is how I do it, and I haven't did a video like a stream video in I don't know how long. It's been about 10 months, something like that. I don't know. But thank you guys for coming and hanging out. And Pred, you already gave your sign out. So anything you want to say before we get out?
Nope. See y'all Saturday. Next podcast.
See you next Saturday this Saturday on next podcast.
This Saturday,
yeah, and don't forget about GRG this coming up Friday night. Definitely want to hear what the rest of the panel is going to say. That's going to be fun. Hopefully we'll have a special guest to come on and talk about it. I will hit him up today to see if he's going to confirm to come, and it will be great if he does, so we can get his expertise behind it. But other than that, everybody have a good one. Have a blessed day. Peace.